Hello, and welcome to our review of episode 3 of Rings of Power. I'm Jess.
I'm Adam. I just woke up from a nap. I just can't with the show anymore.
We're watching it so you don't have to.
But do you want to at this point? It's just... Whew, nothing happens in the show.
I mean,
why?
I will
God,
say
why?
episode 3 was slightly better.
Yes, because something happens in the last 3 goddamn minutes. And I already saw it in the trailer, so I don't care. I just don't care anymore.
But also there's like a little bit more Easter eggs, I guess, in it.
Yeah.
But they only work if you're more versed in like the Lord of the Rings lore, which...
I guess. But the whole point of making a movie or a show is so that...
It's standalone.
You don't have to have already read shit to know what's going on. Mm-hmm. And it's almost like this show has no clue that's literally the rule.
Because people keep naming stuff and being like, of course you know what this is. And we're like, huh?
Yeah, like I feel...
Wait, what?
I feel like when people try to... Like when you're playing a board game, like a really intense board game, and people are just ahead of you.
Yeah.
You know, and they're trying to explain the rules and this and that. But it just goes right over your head. That's how this feels. Every time they introduce a character, I'm like... It's
short.
It's a white guy with long hair and a beard. Oh wow, I haven't seen one of those in 20 seconds. Or it's just is Arwen Galadriel. Sorry, I can't even.
Arwen's
my brain is fried
so far.
No, she's not in this yet. But and it's just her being cranky the whole time.
Yeah,
and
she just seems unnecessarily aggressive towards everyone she meets for some reason.
I get it. She's in a bad land and people don't like her, which makes I still don't understand it.
We're not sure why the people of Numenor don't like her.
Because they were friends. They took the Elves side, and the Elves gave them this awesome island.
Yeah.
They gave them Themyscira to live on.
And also, like, longer lives and all this fun things. I'm not sure what exactly.
And they just treat the elves like shit.
Yeah, because, like, the Southlands, I guess, or, like, where Halbrand comes from.
It's the only name I can remember in the show.
I feel like that his people not liking the elves makes a little bit more sense because they're the ones who took the wrong side. And then, like the side of the Dark Lord, and then they got punished for it.
Which I didn't get in the first couple episodes when I was like, why are all the humans living on these like gross reservation type places and the elves are the cops? That I remember literally saying that and I'm like, oh, this is why?
Yeah, this is why.
I didn't know.
That whole run in the bar with Arondir.
The Legolas stand-in.
The only cool elf in this entire show.
Yeah, that was the other thing.
He was the only one doing cool things.
I could be completely wrong. I always thought the elves had like a little bit more strength.
Or agility at least, or something.
Because he gets captured at the end of the second episode by a bunch of orcs. Mm-hmm. They like drag him to this concentration camp type thing, and they're making him just dig up crap for them. Mm-hmm. And it's all these elves and like maybe a few orcs, and they're getting their asses handed to them left and right, and it's like... The orcs aren't even like the big orcs. They're shorter
the normal
than me.
Orcs. Yeah, the normal orcs.
They're like 5'2". I'm like, why are you getting you are like an Olympian.
Yeah.
And you're getting your ass kicked by these guys wearing leather skin hoodies, which that was the one costume choice I love on the show is the like,
kind of reptilian skin looking things.
Yeah, it looks like they're wearing like crocodile hoodies or something. I was like that like, oh, this gives me some hope.
Yeah. But like the thing is like the problem is it's not consistent with the movies though, so then it gets all really confusing for me.
For someone who only knows the movies, it's very confusing. Like at least you have the books to fall back on. Like you got to do the deep dive where I just don't have the kind of time.
The context.
And as a viewer, which is what they want, they could give a shit if you read the book.
Yeah.
As a viewer, none of this is impressive. The story is just slow and meandering. The characters aren't really likable. No one is standing out as a character that I want to get behind besides
Arondir is the only cool person.
Which one's Aron? The elf man. The elf guy and the ship captain.
Oh, Elendil. We like Elendil.
I kind of like
cool.
him. He looks like Sean Bean. You should just got Sean Bean. Bring him back. Why not? I don't
It's
care.
fine. He was in one a different character.
He was in a Lord of the Rings, right?
Yeah, he was Boromir.
Okay. I was trying to remember. I'm like, he died in that, right? Because he dies in everything.
Yeah.
Sean Bean dies at the end.
Sean Bean is a spoiler in almost everything he's in. He's about to die. But
yeah, when he lives, that's the twist.
Yeah. But yeah, I did like Elendil. That is true.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the problem right now is we are 3 episodes in of a, I don't know how many episode series.
I'm going to guess, I want to say 10 because that's usually the magic
8 or
number.
10. But still, if it's 3 episodes, we're like presumably a third of the way in. And I feel like the problem, for me, I think the problem is we don't understand the stakes. Like, we know Sauron might be up to something. Well, there's some kind of evil creeping into the Southlands. But the problem is we don't have any real physical manifestation of that evil, so then we never see the force that's going, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because I mean, like, at least in Lord of the Rings, like, Gandalf or somebody would touch the ring and, like, see the eye, and he was like, oh God, shit,
no. He's there, yeah. Or
Sauron coming.
Or you had like the ring wraiths that were also a very physical manifestation who were directly able to stab folks. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like there's no one out there right now really.
This is just races fighting.
Yeah, but people getting uncomfortable with each other and being weirdly conflicty for some reason.
Yeah.
And there's like no real like, and because there's not really a face to the evil currently. We have no idea why anyone's fighting, what anyone's mission is. Like, I feel like Galadriel's mission is she needs to get back to Middle-earth to warn people that Sauron's coming back, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And the problem is, one, we have not even seen Sauron, so we're like, now, you know what I mean?
Not to cut you off, but was that when they were climbing the ice thing in the first one?
Yeah.
And they all say, we're not fighting that thing, and they put their swords down, and she has to go along with it because she doesn't have an army anymore?
Yeah.
Was that Sauron? Was that supposed to be like,
no.
Sauron might be on the other side of that door, but we gotta kill this bridge troll or whatever the hell?
Maybe the ice troll.
That's what I thought it was. And
I don't know if that was the case. It was not clear to me.
I mean, I'm literally just grasping at straws because I can't pay attention to anything in this. I don't like any of the actors. I don't like the story beats are just boring. It's just boring.
It's not structured correctly. Because if you think about it, like, if we have to, like, at risk of angering some of our audience, like, if we have to draw a direct comparison to maybe a series that did it a little bit better, if you're thinking about, like, some great evil that's creeping back into land and we all have to warn people that they're coming, what does that make you think of? Harry Potter, right?
Harry Potter, or hell, even Game of Thrones with the White Walkers.
Yeah, but in those you actually saw the White Walkers. One of the first things you see. You're like, oh, that is the threat.
There is a tangible threat.
You meet Voldemort on the back of that guy's head, and at the end of the first book, which is and the end of the first movie. Like, you need the bad guy in there. You can't just be like, there's general badness happening. Because then, like,
you need a bad guy.
Yeah, because then you get into, like, I assume, I haven't seen this movie, but I assume it's, like, similar to, like, The Happening, where there's just stuff happening, but you don't really see a manifestation of the thing, so you're just like, what the fuck?
The Happening, it's, the trees are mad.
Yeah, but
the trees give off some pollen that makes us crazy. Spoiler for The Happening, it's like a 10 years old. Who cares? The movie was trash. Even Mark Wahlberg said it was garbage.
Yeah, but you see, that's not really as much of a physical manifestation there either. And then that movie kind of sucks, right? So, like, I just feel like you need a reminder or someone that will fit something in the world that can actually physically harm people. Something like the ring race. Yeah,
this is almost just kind of day in the
bad guy?
This feels more like day in the life bullshit.
Yeah, but you don't know why we're being shown this, right?
Yeah, I mean, Galadriel's problem is literally she's just on an island of people who don't like her.
Yeah,
boo-hoo.
People being racist.
They're not gonna kill her or anything. They just don't like her. And they don't want to take her home. They're like, we're not wasting a boat on you.
People are being unnecessarily difficult for no apparent reason.
The hobbits, we learned the hobbits are assholes who will leave you behind
if you're too slow.
If you're the slowest, laziest creatures on the planet will leave the slowest of their bunch. And you always thought the hobbits were like these cute, playful
jovial people.
Thinking back, the hobbits kind of were garbage humans. We
content.
Get high, we get drunk, we eat too much, and It's a nice, you
As
don't
long
mess
as
with
they're-
us, we don't mess with you.
Yeah, it's like they're content being in that state. And that
Yeah.
makes sense. They don't strive for anything bigger.
Yeah,
Except for a few of them.
which is they're hippies. It's cool.
Yeah.
You know, but in this, it's like literally they say these are the people we left behind.
And I was like, why? Why couldn't you help them? I don't understand.
no, they're just terrible.
Why are you guys so mean?
They're terrible, you know,
Yeah.
and it's like you'd think lazy would beget lazy.
Yeah, and then like Queen Muriel seems to be just being mean to Galadriel for no apparent reason, and I'm like,
I mean,
why?
with that, I think they're building to something.
Yeah,
I
but-
almost wonder if they have an ulterior motive to, like, they were going to go after the elves at some point. Or, you know, like...
But the thing is, you have to explain that shit. What's going on?
But I think that's just it. They just haven't gotten around to explaining it in 3 hours.
Yeah, and
you
that's
know?
the problem with this whole thing. It's
Yeah.
like, even when we're talking about, like, Sauron's coming back. How is he coming back? We don't
Yeah.
know yet. Like, basically, I feel like the problem is this show is like, oh, we need to reveal the answers in time. I'm like, what time? The time is now. Like,
Just give me something. Anything. They don't give you anything. Like...
it's just people moving through time for some reason.
They gave
I don't
us
know.
a fight at one point. And
Yeah.
it was literally the guy wanted to be...
Oh, yeah, what happened to that kid?
He Halberd?
No, there was like, remember there was, what happened to Bronwyn and the child? We never saw them again. There was like a healer lady that the Arondir
Yeah,
didn't like.
they didn't cover them this episode.
They were like,
Them and the
the kid who found the knife thing that was not good.
they
You know?
didn't do anything with which means
That's
they'll
been
probably be
eating
big
blood?
in the next one.
Yeah.
And they didn't do anything with the dwarves.
Oh, right.
There were no
And
dwarves.
Elrond.
Yeah.
Elrond wasn't in this one.
You know
This
what?
is
I'm
so
fine.
bad.
I'm fine with it. He sucks. I don't like the guy they got playing Eldron. He looks
I just feel like it's a problem when you have hour-long episodes and you have to completely just drop story threads. Yeah, I mean, that's when you know you have too many C stories or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
and I think
structurally, this is very confusing.
I think I get it that there are rabid fans of this. And I understand it because you understand it. You know, you get it. You took the time to really deep dive into this world. But that's why they make this is for a mass audience.
Yeah.
And you're not...
To introduce them to this world.
I mean, even Peter Jackson's ones were nerdy as hell when it came to how they broke it down. It was a deep dive, but you knew what was happening at all times.
And Game of Thrones, too.
Game of Thrones,
Game of Thrones is a good
you like your characters, and I don't like anyone in this.
Or or at least even if you don't like them, they stand out. Like Joffrey sucks, but you know who he is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you love to hate Joffrey because
Yeah.
you're like, what garbage thing is he gonna do next? You know,
Yeah.
like who's he gonna torture for no reason? You know,
Yeah.
With this, there's not even like a big heel or
Yeah.
anything. They're just everybody's just a slight dick. There's nobody really nice.
Everyone is just kind of being difficult for no apparent reason.
Yeah, like so what's the elf guy's name again?
Arondir.
Arondir. Because I kept wanting to say ADAR, which is the bad guy in this, where you only get to see 2 seconds of his.
And you're like, who this?
Yeah, he's like the orc king, I'm guessing, kind of thing.
I heard he's an original character somewhere.
Oh, good, another original character. Because
Like,
those have been working so well.
Yeah.
This is the show's a mess. The show's a real mess.
It has like pacing and gigantic structural and pacing issues.
And just lack of a tangible villain.
And also a tangible
Which
villain.
I didn't even think about until you brought it up.
Yeah, I was like thinking about it. I was like, wait a second. We don't even know who they're fighting. Who are they fighting? Like,
And,
you know what I mean?
and we got it. That warg.
Yeah.
Can we talk about the warg
But
in the
before
room?
we get to that, I will say that like I think the reason why everything seems so like everyone being difficult for no apparent reason is because they need conflict, but they're unwilling to show us the big bad. So that now they have to have all these little conflicts. And I was like, but why is everyone just being mean to each other?
I mean, I guess it's building up to the point where they all have to join forces with the rings to take on Sauron.
Yeah, no.
I mean, because weren't they just always fighting and then the rings brought them together?
No, actually.
I don't remember.
No, I feel like if I had to hazard a guess, I would think that like the show is called Rings of Power because it's going to lead up to the part where all the different races make that pact with Sauron and then and he forges them all rings.
Oh,
Remember?
that's what happened.
And then and then he secretly made the one ring to control them all, and in the darkness bind them.
That's right. They were all basically leashes.
They were all like deceived. I think it's going to lead up to that point, but the thing is like still need like some kind of tangible. You need a Saruman, someone in there.
And they introduced new characters. The boat kid. What's his name?
Isildur?
There you go. Because I will not remember any of these names.
Isildur is an important character in the Lord of the Rings mythos. I just don't know what he's doing here.
And he's the king who didn't throw the ring in, you said?
Yeah, he's like the prince. So his dad is Elendil, right? So in the Lord of the Rings prologue, that's the king who's fighting Sauron, and then he gets killed, and then his son cuts off Sauron's finger, and then he gets the ring, and then on the way, Elrond is like, throw the ring in the fire, and he's like, jokes, not really, I got corrupted. And then on his way home, he gets killed by orcs, and then the ring falls into the river, and then Gollum finds it. Long story short. Yeah, exactly. For all those who forgot the beginning of Lord of the Rings 1.
we need a gross character like Gollum.
Yes.
We need I miss me a good Gollum character.
But also the thing is, even when you have gross characters, this is the other thing I kept saying while we were watching it, is that a bunch of these characters don't act the way I think people would act in the situation they're in. That makes sense?
No, they don't.
They just seem like they're being difficult for no reason, or being defiant for no reason, or just being strange.
Speaking of M. Night Shyamalan, who doesn't know how to write characters either. We were talking about The Happening earlier. It's that's every character in an M. Night Shyamalan movie.
It's like, why are you doing this? This is not how a person would act in this situation. Like when the elf guy was being unnecessarily upset about the tree, I was like, your life is in danger right now. You are imprisoned in this concentration camp. Are you really more worried about this tree? Really?
I mean, the orc fight at the end was cool.
It's just the warg.
I enjoyed it, but that warg, my God, this
it looks like a cartoon. It has a weird face.
It looks like a burnt dog with teeth on the outside of its face. It's just, the eyes go the wrong way. It's not looking in the right directions.
I just feel like aesthetically it did not fit in either, if that makes sense. I was like, where did this alien creature come from? I mean, it doesn't seem like it would be part of that world, because aesthetically it doesn't fit in with everything around it.
I mean, but they did have wargs in the other movies.
In the movies, the movie wargs look like they could belong in this universe. Aesthetically, the design.
They looked real. They looked like wolves who were slightly off. This looks like they shaved a dog and just threw a bunch of crap on it, and then scanned it and said, make some bad CGI.
I also just think it looks like a cartoon, because I just think the aesthetic is off. The design is off. It doesn't feel native to this world.
No, and especially against the practical effects that they have are so good. Yeah. And I think that was the trick with the wargs also, was they were always shot at night.
No, that's not true.
In the movies.
They were in the daylight.
Because they were always kind of weren't they just controlled by the orcs who can't go in the daylight?
No. I think they were they might have been with the Uruk-hai, but I know definitely
I'm basically trying to unpack 14 hours of shit.
Do you remember the scene when Aragorn falls off the cliff? That was definitely in the daytime.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay. That's when they came out. It's been so long, and I just...
It's like the whole part when they're like, Legolas, what do your elf eyes see? And then
all right.
That shit.
But, okay, so it was just Peter Jackson knew what the fuck he was doing, and Jeff Bezos and his near $1 billion budget has no clue how to make something look like a creature.
Not a cartoon.
I
remember when it first came out and I first saw it, I was just like, what the hell is this?
I saw it this morning on Twitter. I was just scrolling through and I see this thing and I'm like, ooh, what is that? And someone was making fun of it and someone was defending it. And I was like, oh man.
Oh no, we don't want to be on the bad side of this situation.
No, why would you defend that? No. It's okay to say someone's screwing up something that you hold dear. There are people, this is fine. I could take it or leave it, honestly, Lord of the Rings. I love the original trilogy. I hated the Hobbit movies. And I never read the books. I read The Hobbit. That was it. Mm-hmm. So for me, I don't have that love, so I can be a little bit more scathing on it. And I understand people hate that shit. But at the same time, if I were a fan, I'd be so offended by this. Because it's not interesting. It's not fun. And it's just... It's like that clip from Clerks 2 we were watching. It was just the original trilogy, all they did was walk around and throw a ring and everything. Yeah. It's but at least with that...
It was interesting.
It was interesting. This is slower than that. And it's just really terrible world building.
Yeah, because really what it should be like one of those video games where like you go to a new stop, you meet some new people, you learn something about their culture, and then you go to a new stop. It's like, you know, that'd be how you build something like this.
Yeah, it's like everybody brings something to the table that helps in the mission.
Yeah.
Because that's how story structure
But then
works.
what is the mission here?
I don't know, because
we know Galadriel is trying to warn everyone, but then what the hell is everyone else doing? Like, honestly, the way it should have happened is like, I don't know what they're trying to establish with everyone other than Galadriel.
And I really, the Starman guy,
what is he doing here?
I really hope he's a wizard or something.
He better be important.
Well, have they even touched upon wizardry at all?
No.
So that's why, like, when you said that, I'm like,
this makes sense, but the reveals are too slow. That's what it is. The reveals in the show are way too slow.
Yeah, I mean, even his cloak looks kind of like Gandalf's robes, just a homeless version because they were slapped together. And it's like, I want more of, like, that character. I don't care about these, like, shitty royal people and just... I don't know, nobody is like... Even the hobbits, I don't like them. I don't like the characters in this. There's nobody in this show other than, like, the badass elf guy.
He's growing on us.
And even him, it's not his fault. He just has nothing to do.
Yeah.
He's
the only one doing cool things.
Yeah.
And that's the only
you have
reason
all
why
these
like
elves who are, like, should be, like, badasses, and they don't do anything. They're just punks.
Yeah, and you're like, what is this?
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, we got a few more episodes to go.
Well, we don't know because they won't tell us how many episodes are in this show.
It's got to be online somewhere. I just don't have. I don't care to look it up because you know what? Like, I probably should because then I know how much more time I got to spend in this world.
How much more hours?
I don't know. This whole thing is a letdown. It's just like, as a viewer of anything.
Was anyone involved in this actually excited to do this? That's what I'm curious about. Because if this is excited people, passionate people working on shit, it doesn't look like it.
I can't imagine.
Is anyone excited?
The behind the scenes stuff is as cool as the stuff you used to watch, like Peter Jackson put together.
I loved all those behind the scenes featurettes. They're those featurettes got me into filmmaking. So good on you, Peter Jackson.
Because they're literally a filmmaking course.
Yeah,
it's a course
super
in
cool.
It's a course in screenplay.
And everyone's so passionate about what they're doing.
Special effects, story structure. It really he sits down and lays out. He had a plan, and this was let's get a bunch of writers and a bunch of directors and a bunch of rando actors from probably 12 different BBC shows that you've never heard of, and
everyone looks like someone else more famous.
Yeah,
which is weird.
They're all carbon copies of a better actor.
I was like, this is like discount someone, discount someone else.
How many times did we look people up and go, "Oh, I've seen this person's on"?
Never mind.
No, you didn't. This person is but in one thing. Yeah, I don't know. So we should wrap this up.
Yeah.
We pretty much...
We will continue on this epic journey.
Epic? I wouldn't call it epic.
I don't know.
We'll continue on this lackluster journey.
Maybe this will be more exciting and interesting than watching the episodes.
I'm hoping in episode 4 we finally start getting some like badassery.
Yes.
They gave you a little taste in this and then they took it away just as quickly. Because I was looking at that runtime and I'm like, ooh, an action scene. Ooh, there's like 4 minutes left. God damn it.
And sometimes it's just better to watch things with friends.
Yeah. Because this
would have been really terrible alone.
Well, you woke me up 3 times.
Yeah.
You had to keep waking me up. Go, Adam, come on. I had to go to Dunkin' Donuts. All right. So I guess that's it for...
episode 3 of Rings of Power.
Yep. Well,
yeah, what did you say the Rotten Tomatoes score was right now?
It was like in the 80s for the critics, but a 39 for audience.
Crazy.
I mean, most people were just regular folk were rating it like a 1.
Yeah.
And they all said exactly what we said. It's just boring.
Yeah, man. So
Boromir.
Just prepare yourself if you are going to take this journey, but if you don't want to, just listen to our reviews.
And don't get mad at us, because you know what? It's okay to like stuff. We just think this isn't up to par for the amount of money they spent on it.
And also, we can love a property and then wish it was better.
Oh yeah, I've been doing that with Star Wars for years.
You're like, you can do better. I know you can do better. Why are you not doing better?
Yeah. So,
you know that Tyra Banks gift where it's like, I was rooting for you. It's like that kind of.
yeah, it's like watching your kid fail at something.
Or
And
your
you're just
kid
like,
just continuously fall on their face.
Oh,
and
man.
you're like, oh man, I should help them up sometime. Maybe not. Maybe this will learn.
I still got to teach them to ride a bike.
Yeah, man.
Oh man. All right. So I guess until next time, I've been Adamok.
I'm Jessica Chen.
And please like and subscribe because that's the good thing to do.
Yes.
See you next time.
See you next time. Bye. Thanks for
watching.
Enstarz, please be
Sure.
to like, comment,
and
subscribe. Yay!